What is up, my friends? It is Monday afternoon, and you are all very welcome along. I hope you're having a good day so far. Lots to talk about. I thought it was going to be a quiet one, but as always, the footballing gods have bestowed upon us some transfer links to talk about. And the good news is we can start the countdown to the Reds' next game now. It is game week, albeit the very start of the week, and there's quite a way to go, but I'll take it. It was a weird weekend for me and probably for you guys as well, looking around Premier League and not having a Liverpool game to watch. It's that staggered international, or not international, winter break where we've got half the teams playing one week, half the teams playing the other week. And that's the good news for us is now it's our week. So I'm looking forward to it. We need to get the victory at the weekend against Bournemouth. We've seen mixed results this weekend. Spurs United drawn. We've seen Manchester City come back to beat Newcastle and lots of other bits and pieces. How are we? Seen somebody in the chat, Rocco. How are you, Rocco? Rocco Mancini. What a cool name that is. Tell me, please, God, tell me that's your real name, dude. Because if that's your real name, that is one of the coolest names I've ever heard. Rocco Mancini. I'll take that one. He said, hi, Craig. Olise, quality young player. Man, you want to sign him. Do a swap deal or something dodgy. Respects to all your viewers and, of course, to yourself. Thank you so much, Rocco. He's a brilliant young player, mate. And somebody who we've all been fond of here for quite a while. We've been chatting about him for a couple of months now as a great option for Liverpool, but it will be in the summer market. What have we got? The Tic Tac guy is always tweeting about Trent. The Tic Tac guy. I don't know who the Tic Tac guy is. Are we talking about Bellingham? Is that it? I don't know who we're talking about here. But yeah, Trent was congratulating Bellingham on his first trophy with Real Madrid. There's lots of news today. There's a bit about Bobby Firmino we'll be talking about. There's been some criticism of Mohamed Salah, not from me, not really from Liverpool fans, but from Egyptians. They've been given out about Mo as a leader and a captain and his performance against Mozambique. So we'll talk about that as well. Forget about Olise. Did Mbappé make a decision yet from Mr. Who? No, not that I've heard of, mate. Still nothing new on the old Mbappé front, from what I can gather anyway. It's going to be one of those wait and see situations around him. So look, let's look through the few bits and pieces that we have seen early doors today. So I guess this is sort of linked to Liverpool, but sort of not either. So Florian Plettenberg said Max Eberl has joined Bayern Munich. He will sign a long-term contract to become their sporting director, I believe, and a board member at Bayern Munich. He was linked with a move to Liverpool, but it was always pretty apparent that if everything could go through, he was going to join Bayern Munich. What else is there today to talk about early doors? Right, so I want to just draw your attention to a story that coming from Matt Law, I think of the Telegraph, if I'm not mistaken. And they say Chelsea are considering trying to find a short-term loan option from Al Ahly for Roberto Firmino. And again, much like we spoke about with Jordan Henderson being linked with Chelsea, I very, very much hope that Bobby Firmino doesn't make a move to Chelsea, even a short-term loan move to Chelsea, because we don't want Chelsea having any of Bobby. You know, Bobby's too precious for Chelsea. We don't want Chelsea getting their mitts near Mr. Bobby Firmino, so keep an eye on that situation anyway, but it is one of the stories that have come out early doors today. They moved the Brighton game to 4 p.m. Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you, mate. I didn't know that news. Brilliant. Appreciate you. So that means we didn't get that stupid 12:30 kickoff. That's good. So that means Brighton 4 p.m. on the Sunday. Nice. We like that. Well in. That's a bit of good news to start the day with, so thank you on that one. Janine, thank you. Hi Craig, hope you're well. Love what you're doing with the channel, part of my daily routine. Great to see you do so well. Think Olise would be a great signing for us. The boy is class. And that's from Tartan Table Tennis. Thank you. Appreciate everything you said there, mate. And definitely concur with you about Olise. So look, I guess we'll go over the Olise story early doors. And if people come back in and we need to go back over it again, no problemo. But Mark Ogden of ESPN, and somebody who I actually think is a pretty good journalist, to be fair, watch him quite a bit when he's on the back pages over on Sky and stuff as well. So he said Liverpool are interested in signing Michael Olise in the summer. Another article goes on to speak about the release clause that Olise has, and what we know is it's about 60 million quid. And it doesn't come into effect till next summer. And anybody thinking about maybe trying to go in and buy Olise in the winter window is going to be disappointed because Crystal Palace simply won't sell. But I think summer move, if we're looking at Olise, makes much more sense on every level. So, yeah, that's great news for us. One more bit of news on this. Hang on. So Ben Jacobs has been speaking about Olise as well, and he said, I don't see anybody succeeding or even necessarily trying in signing Michael Olise in this window, but there could well be a battle for his signature over the summer when a release clause in his new contract kicks in. The clause is higher than his old one, and it's complicated because, Chelsea tried to trigger the 35 million one, but he did pen a new deal. It's too early to say if Chelsea will return in for Olise, but keep an eye on Liverpool and Manchester United, he said. Olise is having a superb season so far, and a summer exit from Palace could be a real possibility. The extension of Palace wasn't necessarily signed to stay long term, so much to protect all parties and raise the release clause because it was turning out to be a bit of a bargain. So there's almost an expectation, if you read into that next summer there will be 2, 3, 4 clubs coming in from. Now, if you're Michael Olise, and again, maybe I'm deluded in thinking this, but if you're Olise and you look around and you see Liverpool in for you, you see Manchester United in for you, and Chelsea in for you, I mean, you'd go to Liverpool, wouldn't you? Surely you would. Like, United, I think they're going to be without a manager in the summer and looking for a new manager. Chelsea, well, look, you've seen how things are with Chelsea at the minute. If you don't go in there, hit the ground running, you could be on the bench very quickly. You could be, again, playing for a potentially different manager, because if Pochettino doesn't pull up his socks, then Pochettino's going to be potentially moved on as well. Mark said, just looking for confirmation. Mark, our chief moderator, just said he hasn't seen anywhere confirmed for that Brighton kickoff. So the gentleman that put it into the chat earlier on, where did you see the confirmation of it, just so we can see it? Because, we don't want to be saying to people that it's a done deal if it isn't, but we will check into it anyway. Does that mean that if Olise's arrival happening, Salah is leaving, said Sarah? No, I wouldn't necessarily say so, Sarah, because we'll probably look to do a little bit of business up front anyway in the summer. And I would think Olise would be somebody that, even if Mo extends, we'd bring in, because we could rotate with Mo, we could shift Mo centrally. It would just give us more options. And it would probably be with a view to the future. Maybe Olise wouldn't automatically come into Liverpool and play every week for the first season, but certainly I think we'd find enough minutes. I mean, look at this year, the amount of rotation or forwards we've had to do, or the amount of games where we just haven't had maybe the personnel to suit the style of team that are defending against us, and Olise will give us that extra bit of raw pace as well. Do you think Firmino is coming back? Not to Liverpool that I'm aware of. I've certainly not seen anything to indicate that it could be possible. It surprise me that maybe clubs in England or Europe are looking at Bobby as a short-term option for them? No, he proved that not that long ago we were still scoring goals in the Premier League with Liverpool. I feel it's right that he doesn't come back to Liverpool, because everyone said their goodbyes, and I mean that in a heartwarming, kind way, because I absolutely adore Bobby Firmino, but it just feels like it was right to close that chapter. I just hope he doesn't go to Chelsea. I could probably take almost any other clubs other than Chelsea, Everton or United. The rest of the Premier League, I don't mind if Bobby went there on loan as much, but not Chelsea. Please, not Chelsea. Do you think there's any possibility of Antonio Silva? Said Shrinshan. So, we've scouted him. But I guess the question is, do we need to spend €100 million on a centre-back? And that's the question that I can't answer in my own head. I would probably urge to say no. I don't think we do. I think if we could spend less money than that, makes sense. But if you just wanted to get the best option out there, I think he probably is one of the best young centre-backs in certainly European football. But that €100 million clause is pretty hefty, right? And we know Benfica usually do get top dollar for their players. So I don't know if the interest is going to extend past scouting. And we have certainly scouted. Kalvin Phillips, Man City is demanding 7 million. Yeah, well, I guess it depends who needs them, and if Newcastle want them, can they free up 7 million? Can they find that in their, profit and sustainability budget? I don't know, but he needs to go as well. So, despite what Manchester City's demanding, I feel like what would happen in that situation is that they set their asking price. If nobody pays it and the window gets very, very late towards the end of January, I think they will do something like give in, but say it's because they want to give Phillips the opportunity to play and make into the Euro squad. So I think they'll ask for it. I don't know if they'll get it, but I do think they'll cave at the end of the window and just let him have a loan move because he wants to play football. Hey Craig, how you doing? I'm good, thank you, Wolfie. I'm good. A little bit tired, haven't been sleeping great over the past few days, but lots on my mind. But other than that, man, life's alright, thank you. Hope it's all good with you. Any news about Dom and Andy? Not that I've seen yet, no. I would say we'll hear a little bit more about Szoboszlai in the next day or two. If it isn't going to be Bournemouth at the weekend, it will be straight after that. That's his words, not mine. But I don't know anything new. I haven't heard any new updates because the guys are probably still on time off. So I don't know if there will be news around injuries and stuff like that for the next couple of days. There was also a story that today the likes of Everton, Forest and other clubs were going to find out whether they're going to face any punishment for profit and sustainability. Ian, how are you, mate? Ian Harkness said, "Hi Craig, hope you and the family are well, mate. Dilemma for you, Liverpool sign a centre-back in January or you sign a 1-year Adidas sponsorship." I mean, I'm going to be a shithouse and say, give me the Adidas sponsorship. But the devil will be in the detail of that, So how much is that 1-year sponsorship deal worth being closed? Like, is there a limit to how many hoodies and t-shirts I can have? And trainers and tracksuit bottoms and shorts? Because, I love my Adidas. And Liverpool can always get a centre-back. I can't always get an Adidas deal, so I'd have to take the Adidas deal, buddy. Right, what have we got? So Nottingham Forest have been charged. Just now, breaking news. Nottingham Forest have been charged with a breach of the Premier League's sustainability, profits and sustainability. So, there you go. They've been charged. I'm just checking out here just to see. Have Everton been charged as well? Because you guys in the chat are saying Everton have been charged. So this is just a breaking story as we're live, by the way. So we will try and keep up to date with... Yeah, Everton have been charged. Yeah, just confirming what you guys are saying in the chat there indeed. Nottingham Forest and Everton have both been charged. So, wow. That's interesting. I'm looking forward to reading into the detail of this to see exactly what it's all about. But I can't help but feel for Everton. I don't know enough about the Forest situation. So I feel like I can't really comment on it yet. But I do feel for Everton. To potentially face 2 deductions in a season, it's bordering on guaranteed relegation. And I, as a Liverpool fan, have always been open to the idea of Everton being relegated, but not this way. I don't want them to go down this way. That's not fair on the fans. I know, rules are rules. I know all that, but it feels like the Everton fans have been through a lot with the Managerial ownership. With obviously the profit and sustainability stuff, with the points deduction already. I've got a feel for them on this one. I have to say, I really do. This is absolutely woeful, and yet City is still there throwing money at the wall, said Lauren. So, look, I'm not going to go into another City rant because you've all heard many versions of it at this point. But yeah, look, you can see why clubs feel victimised in these scenarios, right? So the easy slim pickings or the easy pickings or the low-hanging fruit, in this case Everton and Nottingham Forest, are getting charged, while the more complex, potentially infinitely bigger financial skullduggery is still going unpunished as they go from week to week and trophy to trophy. But look, we'll have to wait and see, and I hope, all I can say is I hope that fans start to speak out about this and start to put the pressure on the Premier League and the FA and those holding these investigations to hurry it along. Like, I understand they're complex matters and they take time, and there's a lot of accounting and forensic accounting to go through, but like, come on. It's the richest league in the world. 5 years is a long time to wait. And when we see others being punished so quickly, I think everybody, and including these clubs, by the way, Forest and Everton, have a right to ask a question. It's a joke, said T. Hi Craig, just a quick one. Do you think Liverpool will ever get sold? Because every transfer window, we've got no money. It's a tough one, mate, because they're selling off little bits here and there, you know, to free up money or... but every time they sell some off, it feels like they get added value then from elsewhere, which pushes the price of the club up, which means, you know, they're still sitting pretty. I think of it this way. I wouldn't be thinking of anything in the medium term, Eddie, because they've pretty much got their money back that they've put into Liverpool from the purchase price, I mean. And there's no need for them to sell at the minute. So, no, I don't think in the medium term even, or short term, we're considering new owners. Look, everybody, and you know, as much as I don't like FSG and as much as I don't trust them after the Super League, it could be a lot worse. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I too get frustrated a lot of the time that we don't have more transfer budgets than we have. But it is what it is, mate. And I'm hoping, and maybe I'm deluded in this, and I'd love to know what you guys feel about it, but I'm hoping that over the next couple of years, when profit and sustainability really starts to get teeth, and you see Arsenal can't really do business in the window, United can't do business in the window, that it will come to a time where we have so much wiggle room, and we do, by the way, we have so much wiggle room on FFP, or profit and sustainability, that we'll be able to do deals that other clubs just won't be able to do. So I think as this is starting to really be pushed by the Premier League and stuff, because remember, the Premier League and the FA, they don't want an independent regulator. So they're trying to show that they can deal with all this themselves. Now, the acid test is, of course, going to be Manchester City and those charges. But yeah, I think we're in a good position, is what I'm trying to say. If these rules are going to be enforced, we've put ourselves in a very good position that we'll have a lot more wiggle room to maybe go after one or two of those bigger deals. By the time City get their day, Pep and the City group will be gone. See, that's my fear as well, Lauren. But also, the part that really riles me is what I said yesterday, Lauren. We have our own generational manager, right, in Jurgen, that, you know, we won't see the likes of again probably in our lifetime. And if Jurgen's whole time here was up against a cheating regime, it's going to leave a very, very sour taste in the mouth. So I definitely get where you're coming from. If City get found guilty, we should have 3 more Prems, 1 League Cup and 2 Community Shields. I don't want them. I don't, honestly. I don't. And the United fans I've spoken to as well, none of them wants to take, because I think there was 1 year United would have got the league. Maybe there was 2, but definitely 1. I don't want them. I'd much rather that there was a line or an asterisk on those years, and that people then look down to the bottom and see nobody was awarded the league title in those years because of cheating. That would be a better legacy for me than somebody just getting handed titles that they never really got a chance to celebrate. It's important that if this is proven, that it is there forever, a legacy for all to see, a reminder to other football clubs and owners exactly what that punishment could be, the stain on the club forever. That's how I'd like to see it play out. They'll sell the club before the shit comes to light. They're just prolonging it as much as they can, said Lauren. Craig, you're the GOAT, said Plush Bro. Thank you, dude. You're really kind. George said, I agree with what's being said, but it also makes all the trophies won by Liverpool feel so much better knowing that, you know, City could have been cheating the whole time. Yes, it does. You're right. It is a great achievement, everything that Liverpool have done, which is why I get really wound up when people try to undermine the league title we won as saying, oh, it was the COVID season, it doesn't really count. Of course it does. Same way everyone that won everything else during COVID times counted. It just sucks for us because, you know, Henderson and the players and Klopp, they never got to have that celebration properly with the fans. They never got that parade that league title should have had, because that was a huge deal to Liverpool Football Club fans. So, yeah, I don't like seeing that lazy thing trying to undermine us. Who else have we got in the chat? Let's fly through. Did you just call me Grizz? Shannon. Did you just call me Grizz? Do I look like Mr. Khan? Craig, you need to update the Premier League table graphic. Yeah, we will, mate. Relax. It's Monday afternoon time. These things will get done. Don't worry. Everyone's just easing into the week. But, thank you for drawing our attention to it. I'll make sure that the lads... It's Ben's day off, so I'll make sure that Connor updates it. Mark Henson says, nope, disagree. If you cheat, you get disqualified, then prize goes to the next in line. Disagree all you want, Mark. I'm just telling you the general feeling amongst football clubs and the players, and nobody wants a title that way. Nobody I've spoken to. It's just empty. It's empty. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, just my take on it, and those that I've spoken to, that seems to be the vibe about it. I like to think of it this way: if I was in the Olympics and I won the high jump, and I found out, I came second in the high jump, and I found out that the person that came first in the high jump cheated and was disqualified, would I want my medal in the post or at some little ceremony somewhere that isn't the Olympics, where I don't get to hear the Irish national anthem and stand on top of that podium and have my life's work, my sacrifices pay off? Nah, it's empty. And you would feel rightly pissed off and cheated by it, because you don't get that moment back. Everton are actually getting abused. This is rough to watch. I feel for them, man. I really do. Like, I don't know enough about the Forest situation, as I said earlier, and I'm going to try and read up on it, but yeah, it does feel like they're absolutely getting shafted. Coach Bill said, Craig, you're right. Nobody should be awarded the titles after City get charged. It should remain a lesson to cheats. That would be my mindset on it, mate. Yes. I think it's more powerful that way as a statement against cheating, to say, yeah, nobody won them that year. Why did nobody win them that year? And then, the conversation comes out, well, nobody won them that year because ... They have been charged for the 23-24 season. All Premier League teams were told to hand over the books. Again, John, it's just twice in one season feels a hefty punishment, mate, when you're already down a set amount of points, and now you might have a second point deduction coming. I just don't want Everton to go down that way. It just feels unfortunate. Did you watch any NFL games this past weekend? Every single one of them, Dania. Every single one of them. And you know what? Haven't won a single bet. Not one. Been really close all weekend, but never gotten over the line. The weather in Kansas was crazy for the Chiefs game. Just to see the frost, or I don't know what you call it, smoke fucking coming out of the players' faces. Not smoke, but you know what I mean. Last night was really interesting, the Detroit game. To see them get over the line, that was brilliant to see. First half of that game was incredible. Second one kind of not as good. But yeah, got Bills at 9:30 today, and then tonight got Tampa Bay and the Eagles. So lots of football still to be played. Jack said, potentially lots of people stop watching football if City are in charge at this point. What is football really anymore? It would feel dirty watching it. Thank you for your super chat, Jack. I agree. It would feel grubby, and it does feel grubby. And I am watching football these days with a caveat in the back of my mind going, what am I looking at here? Like, there's only so many times we can hear them get praised without the caveat of, what if they are the cheats that we think they are? But look, we've a lot more to get through anyway with regards to news around Liverpool Football Club. So, Mohamed Salah is coming in for some abuse. And I call it abuse because if I said this, that's exactly what it would be called. But an Egyptian account called Tarek, you've probably seen this post, he put about Mohamed Salah, he has no spirit, he has no personality, he has no artistic influence except in a few moments. He does not like to defend on the field, and he's afraid of his feet. Mohamed Salah is the worst captain and worst star in the history of the Egyptian national team. That feels disgusting to read. When you consider the sacrifices that Mo has made for the Egyptian national team, playing through pain barriers, coming back early from injury ahead of a World Cup or an AFCON, it was a major tournament anyway. A goal and an assist in that 2-2 draw with Mozambique. And for some reason, he's the scapegoat. Like, with all due respect to the rest of the Egyptian national team, they're all water carriers compared to Mo. They're all nobodies compared to Mo. They wouldn't be anywhere without Mo at the minute. And as much as I like to critique his performances at Liverpool, I'm at least looking at him with other world-class footballers around him. I'm not looking at him with people that, in all honesty, aren't fit to lace the man's boots. Maybe a couple of other decent players in the Egyptian squad, but ultimately, it's a one-man team. That feels raw to me, man. Now look, he's Egyptian, I think. He can speak about his own country and his own country's players however that he sees fit. That's his right as an Egyptian person, but it just feels over the top to me, you know. It just feels terrible. And look, I don't know what else to say about it. Just wanted to bring it up because it just feels grubby. And I don't know. I don't know how the rest of Egyptian football fans feel, but this is the fickleness that we speak about in football. And I say this to you guys all the time. This modern trend of everything has to be won, every game has to have multiple goals, somebody has to score 2-3 every week. The standards and the levels that some people are expecting, or the delusional attitude of some people, is crazy. Egypt shouldn't be winning that AFCON. They shouldn't be even in the top 3, in my opinion. There are far better African nations at the moment with far better teams and squads than Egypt. So where's the sanity in that conversation? I don't get it. Look, I'm going to see what you guys think about it, but to me it just felt shitty. Average B said Mo Salah put Egypt on the map. Look, Mido was a huge player for Egypt back in the day as well, but nobody has done for Egyptian football what Mohamed Salah has done. Nobody. Whoever wrote that comment is a fake fan, said Fowler the Scouser. Like, this person looks like he's a journalist, by the way, off his profile picture. I don't know what the fuck he thinks artistic influence is on a football pitch, by the way. I'm gathering that was just a poor translation from Google Translate, but I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. When he retires from national team football, which, you know, he probably will over the next few years, then let's see how Egypt get on without Mohamed Salah. Let's see them actually challenge in competitions or qualify for more World Cups without the greatest African player to ever lace up a pair of boots playing for them. Mr. Buffer Set said Egypt will be lost without Mo. Craig, can't be just me who's seeing so much hate on Jordan Henderson. I don't give a shite about Jordan Henderson at this moment in time, mate. I lost all respect for the man when he ran off to Saudi. That's my opinion on it. He will, of course, rightly go down as a Liverpool legend, as a captain. No doubt about that. Everything he achieved with Liverpool was brilliant. But, yeah, I've no time for him anymore. But I'm not going to go around hating on the man. I'm not actively looking to hate on Henderson. I just don't care about him anymore because he didn't care about the people he professed to fight for. So, Egypt haven't won an AFCON with Salah, most successful AFCON nation before Salah came in. So? And what? Tell me a better player to lace up a pair of boots for Egypt than Mohamed Salah. Well, there isn't one because he's the greatest player. So, look, put it this way. I come from a country that has limited footballing success. We've had individual players over the years like Robbie Keane, like Roy Keane, like Liam Brady, Paul McGrath, probably more than Egypt, to be fair. And I can't imagine a world where, let's say, Evan Ferguson in 5 years' time becomes a top Prem player, wins trophies and plays for Ireland and gets slandered like that. I don't see a time that would happen in my country. I don't see a journalist that wouldn't be lambasted for writing something like that. Because it's a hit piece. That's all it is. It's a hit piece. It's a hit job. And it's taking a cheap shot at somebody who deserves more respect. So, yeah. It doesn't get me. Yeah. And I'm the one that supposedly hates on Salah, like. I don't. I critique a performance. But bigger picture, I've always defended Mo, and I always will, because he's a damn good human being. And a great footballer to boot. Salah is like Ronaldo at United, bossing his players around. Well, he's setting the standards. You don't get to where Mo's gotten to in the world without being a bit of a hard ass on the pitch. Fair enough, yeah. Setting standards, yeah. Because he holds himself to those standards. And I don't think it's asking too much for the man that holds himself to these very high standards to hold those around him to the same standard. Egypt with no goalkeeper, no defence, no midfield, no attack. All they have is Salah, who has brought them to a World Cup, best Egyptian and African player ever, said Harry Clark. The Prat just wants his 5 minutes of fame. Yeah, it feels that way to me as well, Malcolm, that it is just, if I say this, I'm going to get a reaction. The reaction will most likely be negative, and that he hopes, I'm sure, will catapult him into the limelight, because even if you are negative, once your name comes into the public consciousness, that's half the job done. So maybe that is the case. Maybe you're right. Do you see Salah having a statue outside Anfield one day? No, I don't. Because I don't see Steven Gerrard having a statue outside Anfield, So, no. He will have, I'm sure, something to be remembered by, and rightly so. But I don't think it'll be a statue. One sec, some more notes coming in here. Right, so we'll talk about that actually in a transfer video. Let me move on to this next one. So, Fabrizio Romano was tweeting what we were all talking about a moment ago. Premier League charges Nottingham Forest and Everton with breaching financial rules. Club facing points deductions, charged by the Premier League with breaching profit and sustainability. Second charge this season for Everton, docked 10 points in November. So, let's wait and see what these charges hold to, but okay. So Declan Rice was talking, and he was asked who would be the player he would have most liked to have played beside. And he said, I'm going to go with Stevie G. Him and Lamps were always compared. I could say Lamps as well. I adored him as a player, but Steven Gerrard, there's something about him. He's not wrong. Not wrong. Imagine them two playing alongside each other, by the way. Imagine Declan Rice holding for Stevie to burst forward. That would be, that'd be one midfield you wouldn't want to play against. So the Athletic have just put out a post to say, in all likelihood, it could be another year before Manchester City's case reaches its eventual conclusion. Another year. So we're halfway through next season. So that'll be 6.5 years. 6.5 years. It's that is a joke. Yeah, it is a joke. I don't know what else to say. I'm actually physically angry about that. Who do you think is bigger Premier League legend, Salah or De Bruyne? De Bruyne. I've got to be honest. De Bruyne is any other player, and I'm probably answering Salah. But Kevin De Bruyne has been, let's be honest about it, he plays for a club that we all despise, but Kevin De Bruyne is absolutely unbelievable. And can change a game on his own. Yeah, I'd say De Bruyne. I would, but I wouldn't say that for anybody else. I think De Bruyne is the closest thing I've seen to Steven Gerrard. Every bit. I can't speak highly enough of how highly I regard Kevin De Bruyne as a footballer. At this point, they're basically untouchable. They'll keep adding charges and it will never be resolved. And it looks terrible for the league, right? It looks like it's a tin pot league now without the power to actually punish clubs. And don't be fooled by this. Don't be fooled to think that this is going to be won or lost by the facts of the case. I truly don't believe that. I fully believe, from my own opinion, and I'm not trying to say this is fact, it is just an opinion. I fully believe there's going to be political influence on this decision, or at least pressure from the outside, with a warning about investment into the country or into the UK, or pulling money out of London. Some stuff that people don't want to acknowledge happens, but absolutely happens. And I'm intrigued to see if the British government have the stones to actually do the right thing, as well as, of course, the FA and the Premier League. Wonder why they can't just give City a charge at a time and transfer ban can slowly slide into non-league. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Right, bit more breaking news. We love a bit of breaking news, right? Kylian Mbappé is leaving PSG. Nothing is signed at Real Madrid, but contact has not broken between Real Madrid. Only waiting for the green light from PSG, and this piece says that he's definitely leaving PSG. So let's wait and see what happens. KDB's on the same level as Stevie. The next to follow in their footsteps is Bellingham. Yes, probably correct. Do you think Liverpool will sign somebody in this transfer window? I think it's a case of we'll wait and see how the window pans out and see what becomes a possibility. I don't know the answer. If you had to push me on it, I'd edge to no. But I'm going to just go back to what that Paul Joyce post was. As things stand, Liverpool don't have plans. But it's the as things stand bit that, because that's how we've been in these type of situations before. If there's somebody who we have our eye on and somebody else makes a move for, then maybe we step up and try and get a deal done. But as it sits here right now, I wouldn't be expecting it. Definitely leaving in January or the summer. Oh, that would be the summer, mate. That would be the summer. He's because he'd be going for a fee in January. Now there could perhaps be a world where PSG try to do a deal, because they might look at it and go, well, if we can recoup any money, that's better than recouping no money. But certainly the power broker in this is Mbappé. The ball's very firmly in his court right now. Do you think that we'll get Mbappé if Klopp spends a big chunk of this season's money? As we know, FSG don't back Klopp like they should, but seeing as it's Mbappé, FSG spend big themselves. Look, all I'm going to say about Mbappé is I'll definitely make us second favourites, but the favourite's a big favourite in Real Madrid, But if that doesn't come to fruition, honestly, I think we're best placed after Madrid. That's the most honest way I can talk about it, because I don't know after that. Who said the Mbappé stuff? 1 second. An account called Abdella Bulma. It's like I'm getting news through all the time here to me in messages. 1 second. Yeah, so the Athletic are the ones who posted in all likelihood it could be another year before City's case reaches its eventual conclusion. Will Pep still be considered the best manager if it all comes out? Not from me. Like, I adore Pep Guardiola. Like, I'm a Barca fan as well, remember that. So I've admired Guardiola since he came through Barca as a player, manager, and, you know, I hated when he went to City. But the turning point for me was him doubling down and defending City and, you know, saying that he stands by the club. So after that, if City get punished, then in my eyes, his legacy absolutely has to be tainted because he would have been part of the cover-up. So for me, yes, it will be tainted. Would he be the best manager ever still? Well, no, not for me. Because like anything else, you want to have a level playing field, and it hasn't been. So I also don't enjoy watching the style of football he plays at Manchester City. Like, I'm not going to say it isn't effective. It absolutely is. I just don't enjoy it. I find it monotonous. I find it very robotic. I find it very regimented. I much prefer the more crazy, heavy metal, gegenpressing chaos that we can play with at times. I love the way we play. I wonder if Mbappé will seek assurances that Klopp will stay beyond 2026 if he's considering Liverpool. It certainly would form part of any conversation, right? If you're going into a football club, whether it's Liverpool, Real Madrid or whatever, you certainly would want to have a conversation with the manager to know the likelihood, you know, of them being there in 2, 3, 4 years' time. At Madrid, look, those answers can be taken out of the manager's hands very quickly by Florentino Perez and the board. You know, at Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, it feels like that decision will ultimately be Jurgen's when he wants to move on to a new chapter of his life. City are like surgeons. They're clinical and precise and brilliant, but it's not entertaining. A pretty great way to describe it, yeah. They are. They're definitely effective. The system is a winning system, and it is a system more so than there is brilliance of players, but it is a system that has the technical players involved in the system. But yeah, I don't enjoy watching it. Give me an Ange Postecoglou team, a Jurgen Klopp team. I don't even like watching Arsenal under Arteta. I don't find them very attractive. So De Zerbi's type of football, Klopp's type of football, they're the styles of football that excite me as a football fan. Can I have a shout out for my best friend who died today? His name was Wesley. Terribly sorry to hear about that. Wow, terribly sorry to hear about that. Rat Boy trying to be relevant. Gary Neville, I'm done listening to his nonsense. That, imagine coming out and saying somebody who drew with United is going to be better than Liverpool and Arsenal this season and finish ahead of them and second to City. I don't understand how he thinks that's actually true. I just don't. Spurs have been inconsistent. They have shown that without one or two players, their season can derail very quickly. Arsenal and Liverpool have a far better, more in-depth squad. I found it a crazy comment from Neville. I just... It almost like it was said for a reaction. It was just... It's just weird. I don't agree with it at all. We drew at United, to be fair. Yeah, we did, but my point was, like, that's the catalyst for this conversation. So nobody said when we drew at United that we were going to go on and challenge City because of that draw. We were laughed at. We were ridiculed for not beating United. And rightly so, because they're shit and we should have beaten them. But there was no conversation about that being a springboard to push us on to do great things. looks, Spurs are even money to finish top 4. Liverpool are 1 to 40 on. There's no way in my head Spurs are finishing above us, because there's no way I think Spurs are going to be consistent enough. I think the Premier League will be, the top 3 will be Liverpool, City, Arsenal in some combination. And then, yeah, Spurs, every likelihood Spurs could be there. Villa, if they can keep up consistency, they can be there. It just feels, yeah, as I said, reactionary from Neville. Just weird. Neville has nightmares of a Toro Endo. Neville is a human Spurs. Interesting. Love the channel, mates. A Graham L. Thank you, Graham. Appreciate you, buddy. Do hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel, and please do drop a like. Don't forget to check out our Clips channel as well. Anfield Agenda Clips, where we're giving you guys the shorter form content, funnier moments, outtakes, stupid Craig rants with funny gifs and stuff and funny editing done to them. You can find the link in the description, or you can just search Anfield Agenda Clips and you'll find it that way as well. Also want to give a shout out to our show, of course, in Boston. Coming up in March, 10 weeks to go. Tickets are on sale. Ticketmaster in the US, if you want to come and join us. It is going to be at the Foundation Room in the beautiful House of Blues, the Citizen House of Blues in Boston, right across from Fenway Park. 22nd of March. It is an 8 p.m. show start time, and the tickets are on sale on Ticketmaster. And also there is a link in the description of the video or stream for that. Is Olise on sale for January or the summer? The summer. That release clause that he has in his deal doesn't become active until next summer. So, yeah, nobody will be signing Olise in January. I'm new to the channel. I'm a Liverpool supporter. Keane, welcome in, my friend. Great to have you with us. I hope you're enjoying the season as much as the rest of us are, mate. It's certainly shaping up to be a good one. So, Nottingham Forest, this is a club statement. Nottingham Forest acknowledges the statement from the Premier League confirming that the club is today being charged with a breach of the league's profit and sustainability rules. The club intends to continue to cooperate fully with the Premier League on this matter and are confident of a speedy and fair resolution. Looking through more notes. Again from Everton. Everton Football Club acknowledges the Premier League's decision to refer a breach of the profit and sustainability rules for an assessment period ending within the 2022-23 season to an independent Premier League commission. This states that a period which covers the seasons 19-20, 20-21, 21-22 and 22-23. It therefore includes financial periods 19-20, 20-21, 20-22, for which the club has already received a 10-point sanction. The club is currently appealing that sanction. So again, Everton, and I will go into that detail, or that in more detail when I do a video for Top of the League, reacting to these charges. Romania is in the house. Horia, how are we? Welcome in. Nice to have you with us. Craig, you're not getting angry much anymore. Get back the anger. It's fun to watch. Big fan of your work. In what sense, Peter? I mean, when I get angry, people give out to me and tell me to stop ranting and stop going in on people and the players. So I've intentionally, you're right, I've intentionally taken a step back. And I am holding some stuff back. You're right, I am. I'm glad you spotted it, because sometimes inside, yeah. Inside, mate, sometimes I do want to scream, shout and smash something. But, you know, I don't want to get us in trouble. And my life's a lot easier when people aren't pulling me apart on social media for reactions that they've likely had at home themselves. But I don't know, man. I'm still trying to be me. Mbappé, ... stay tuned, said Laser Sharp. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. And I am very much going to be staying tuned, as you well know. Philippines in the house. Coach Ryan, how are we, mate? Lovely to have you in. I can't speak highly enough about Filipino people, dude. I don't know if you're just over there or if you live there, but Filipino people, man, they're absolute salt of the earth. Love them. Any Filipinos I've ever spoken to, male or female, lovely, lovely, warm, friendly people with a great sense of humour and a great outlook on life. Great content to that. If you're doing well, said Mr. Buffer said. Thank you. I like ranting, though. Like, it's weird because people think when I go in on somebody, they're like, oh, don't take the bait, Craig. But sometimes it's cathartic. Sometimes I like ranting because I get to unload, you know, as well. And I'd save it for the people who come in to be an asshole. But is there any credibility to these Olise rumours? Well, I'm saying them, so yeah. You can take it to the motherfucking bank. Yes, there is credibility to them, mate. But it won't be till the summer. And there's credibility for us, there's credibility from United, and there's credibility from Chelsea. So definitely keep an eye on it. And nobody's trying to suggest it's a done deal to Liverpool. No, not at all. Come for a live show in Romania, mate. A lot of us Reds here. Never been to Romania, in all honesty. But I've said it before and I will say it again. We'll show up for a live show anywhere. You show us the venue that suits, and we'll get the show sorted. That's always been our promise. If we think there's people there who'd like to see us or have a chat with us, we'll make it happen. It's no problem to me to jump on a plane and come over. I love travelling. I love meeting new people. Especially people who like and watch the channel. That always means it's lovely to meet and thank these people in person for supporting us on our journey. Evening, Craig. Just came back from a geography exam, 2.5 hours. Gonna watch this and prepare for my physics exam. Well, I hope you nailed it. I hope you knocked it out of the park, AAA. And much love to you, buddy. And hope you do well in the physics exam as well. Do you know what I just did before I started the stream? And I mean literally seconds before. My daughter has been through a bit of a tough time recently. And she's been very well supported by her lovely, lovely, lovely boyfriend, Sean, who is an absolutely lovely fella, honestly. You know I'm a dad, so I'm not wanting to like my daughter's boyfriends. You know, it's not my job to like them. But this he's a lovely guy. So we booked him a trip to Lanzarote next month. So they're heading off for a week to Lanzarote to have that first little breakaway together and relax, because it's been a tough time for my little lady. She's been struggling to find a job since leaving college. She had an interview today, so I hope that goes well for her. But yeah, we just wanted to give her a little bit of a break, because she's been a brilliant daughter and a brilliant big sister to Lucas, and she's my little lady. So that's what daddy's job is. Do you reckon those reports of Olise are just outlets saying for the sake of it? Do you think it's genuinely possible? No, I think it's genuinely possible, mate. Honestly, E.T. on a rant, that's a brilliant name. I think it's genuinely possible. Because the release clause is there as well. And the release clause is a realistic one, right? Like, we're talking about £60 million, which is a high number. But if you look at his age bracket, his talent, it's fair. So I think from that perspective, yeah. Now, I'm not going to say to you it's going to be an if Mohamed Salah leaves or not, because I think there's validity to trying to buy him anyway. If Mo stays, I've always said I think Mo's next move should be central. So maybe you bring Olise in then for the right-hand side. How young am I, Craig? You look 30 plus. I'm 42. Yeah, I'm 42, mate. And trust me, man, I feel every day of it. Oh, God, especially lately. My breathing's horrendous. I just feel tired all the time. But yeah, 42. My daughter's 19. She's 20 in May. And my son's actually 12 on Saturday. Little man Lucas turns 12 on Saturday. I think Olise will go to Chelsea for some reason. Well, look, they tried to sign him and he turned them down. So I don't know if he likes that project at Chelsea, or if there was something else about the summer that just didn't work for Olise. But he did turn down the move to Chelsea, signed a new contract with that buyout clause at Crystal Palace, and yeah, he's there for the time being. But they will probably come back and revisit, all right. What's your beauty routine? You're looking great for 42. Don't have one. Drink lots of water. That's honestly the only thing I'll ever say. I've not been blessed with a lot in this life, dude. You know, I've got the man tits. I've got the beer belly. I've got the angry personality at times. But I don't know. It must be from my mum or something. I've always had good skin. I've been lucky in that regard. Craig, I looked up to you. I've been bullied, but you're incredible. Love you, man. Tyler, I was bullied, mate. My wife was bullied. You know, it doesn't say anything about you, dude. It says more about the people doing it than your good self. That's what I'll always say to anyone that's been bullied. It's not about you in that point. You suffer for it, of course. Absolutely. But it's not about you. It's about them and having something unfulfilled. And I was angry for years. I carried around a lot of anger after my parents' death. Some financial things that happened as well. And but I only let go of it in the last 2 or 3 years, man. It changed my life. It changed my life completely. Um, Being able to accept and give love and be vulnerable, never was me before, my man. So you keep ploughing on, and come in here with us, and we'll keep you occupied. We'll keep you hopefully laughing. And I'm sorry to hear you went through that or are going through that, my man. Definitely are better days ahead. Not had much luck. You've got a good family, incredibly successful YouTube channel. You are blessed, dude. Well, mate, you don't know my whole life, to be honest with you. There's been a lot of downs. I was screwed out of my inheritance of about 450,000 as an only child. Both my parents took their own lives in different ways. As I said, one drank himself to death, the other took an overdose and died. There's been lots of stuff. My mother was sexually abused by a relation. We found that out. Like, it's been a tough life, man. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been shit until I met my wife. And my wife taught me life could be different. Taught me I could be different. Taught me that people that have loved me aren't always going to hurt me. You know, she's the one that changed that for me. She's the one that showed me that she's not going to go anywhere. She's not running away if I make mistakes or if I'm not perfect. You know, so yeah, I have all this stuff, mate, because of my wife. I have the beautiful family because of my wife. I have the YouTube channel because of my wife, because she supported me in doing it. And never moaned at me, never gave up, but never shouted at me for taking over a living room every evening, you know, just support. So yeah, I'm lucky in that sense now, but it's been a long road to get here. Lots of ups and downs, being locked up in a psychiatric hospital. Been tough, but I wouldn't change it because it made me who I am. And this is your journey in life, you know. And I didn't give up, and that's important to me. And now I get to do this every day. I get to talk about football for a living. I get to meet amazing people every day on the internet and, you know, do shows, and fucking brilliant. I can't believe it. Like, every day, it's amazing for me to get up and do this stuff. So, look, my friends, I'm going to end that on that note because it's a positive note, I think. And I'll see you at 8:30, where we will talk more about Liverpool transfers. You know, we try and keep the transfer stuff to the end of the stream, or to the end of the days, because that's when we get more information as the day goes along. So look, I'm going to go record a video now for Top of the League, reacting to these charges against Forest and Everton, and asking the obvious question: when can we expect the Manchester City stuff to come to a conclusion? Until then, please do drop a like on this stream. We've 200 likes. There's nearly 1,000 people in the chat. We can get that up. And yeah, much love. I will chat to you guys later on. Have a good day. Talk to you then. Bye.